Hi, welcome back to Django channel tutorial. In this video, I am going to explain async consumer. I appeal you to watch previous video to understand sync consumer so that you will get more clarity on async consumer. As we know, consumer will structure code as series of function and called whenever event happens. Using async consumer, it handle WebSocket connection more efficiently, especially when we are dealing with IO bound operation or multiple concurrent operation. Also, we can say that async consumer provide higher level of performance since they do not need to create additional thread when handling request. All these operations we'll discuss through the coding. So let us start the discussion through coding. First step is to create a project. To create a project, we need to type a command django admin start project name. Here I am going to give the project name is health. Once the project is created, then we go to the directory L3, then we'll create the application. To create the application, we need to type a command python manage.py start app name of the application. So here I am going to write my app is my application map. Once the application is created, we need to do some setting under the project. So go to the project folder L3, go to the settings.py and make some modification. The very first modification is that we need to first add some apps. First of all, I need to add channels. Make sure that the channel is installed in your system. If it is not, you need to install it. To install the channel, you have the command. So I'll show you that how to install channel. You can type a command pip install channels. So using that command, you can install the channel so that we can utilize that channel for the project. After that, we need to modify this WSGI file. Instead of this, we can write asynchronous letter interface. Modification is required, the setting.py. Once the modification is made, then we need to go to the application and create two different files. The first file is consumers.py. So here I'm going to create a new file, consumers.py. If we add the data for consumers, the last video we had discussed that how we can perform the sync consumer operation. In this video, we are going to discuss that how to perform a sync consumer. Add the content in the file. First line is from channels dot consumer. We are going to import a sync consumer from channel. The exception it has been raised that is been imported through the stop consumer. After that, we can create a class. That class is, let's say, my async consumer. Which consists of the parameter async consumer. Inside the class, we can write a different method. As we all know that when you write a method, we use just a def. But when we write a asynchronous consumer method, at that time, we need to write async def and then the method name. Let's say method name is WebSocket underscore connect. This particular method using here self and event. It handles certain event. Set the method, we can send a certain message whether that connection is been established or not. So we are going to print a socket is connected and if we want to print the event, we can print it. Now in the last video, we just send the message using self.send. Here we need to use await. This await is used to a synchronous function that perform IO operation. Self.send, we can send specific data from this function. So it will be type WebSocket accept. It dot accept. So that the connection is being. This is about the connect function. Then we write another function, For every function, we need to use async. For async consumer, then WebSocket receive and parameter is self. Now to receive a certain message from the client, we are going to print a message from client. We are going to print that event. So we can print specific text under that event. Under the event, what are the text that we receive, that we are going to, and we can use wait for I operation, and then we are going to use self dot send. Inside that we are going to use send webs wait dot send each particular text that I want to send this message that is message sent to client. This is end of receive function. Next function is disconnect. Again, we need to use async for async consumer, and here I'm going to use WebSocket underscore disconnect. The parameter is self. Let the function as we are going to print that WebSocket is disconnected. Let's say socket is disconnect. We have the event. Again, we are going to use a wait for I operation. A certain operation we can perform, but here we need to disconnect our async consumer. So here we are going to just raise stop consumer. So once the operations are performed, it should disconnect with the stop consumer. These all are methods we need to add under the async consumer. Three different methods are there. First one is to connect. Second one is to receive a certain data from the Postman or your APIs, and then we can disconnect. These all functionalities that we can use in the chat application or the application where you want to handle the multiple thread at the same time. That time we can use this async consumer. Now we can add one more file under the same application, and name of the file is routing.py. To route our application, routing.py, we can use it. Under the routing.py, we can add the patterns, certain content from our main project file. Go to the main project, find URL.py, copy the content, save your time, and you can type a content. Here, just copy the content, admin operation. I'm going to remove that URL pattern. Now I'm going to certain input. First of all, we need to import the consumer. Import dot consumer file. That file I'm going to dot consumer. Add a path in socket, and now I'm going to async consumer and a specific functionality. Then we add a consumers dot async consumer. So this is the path that I need to save from import consumer. So this is the correct way to add a file. This particular routing.py. Now these two files we need to add. Now we can move here. Open the asgi.py under the project. Now we'll modify this file content because we need to use async consumer. Some contents are already there, so we can add one by one some packages. So from channels dot routing import, we are going to import protocol type router, and so URL router. Then we are going to import my app dot that specific routing file routing that we have. Now we need to modify this application. Application is equal to protocol type router handle various requests like HTTP WebSocket, and that one router IAM dot specifically underscore URL patterns. This is all about the modification required in the ASCII.py. Now we can run a project to verify the output. So we type the command python manage.py run server. Now it will start the ASCII server. Now we'll go to the postman. We are going to use this URL WebSocket 127.0.0.1.8000 WebSocket ASyncConsumer. Just we'll try to connect it. Is get connected. You can verify in the coding. You can verify that it is get connected. ASyncConsumer is get connected. Now we'll go to the postman again. Now we are going to send this message. Hi, I am from client. So I am going to send this message. The messages get sent to the client. We'll verify in the ID code. And fine, we are going to receive this message. Hi, I am your client. Once the operation is complete, we can disconnect. Once I click on this disconnect, you can see this particular connection is get closed. This way, you can communicate asynchronous by using ASyncConsumer. Hope you understand a complete video. Still, if I read out, you can write it in the. Thanks for watching.